More fake etymologies. More fake etymologies. I'm Tim Smith, WordSmith, and this channel is about books and words and stories and bookshops and some of my stories, and well, you get the idea. This week we'll be covering 3 fake etymologies that have sort of amused me or irritated me. Should we get on with it? All day I dream about sports. All day I dream about soccer. All day I dream about false. In 1924, Adolf, not that one, and Rudolf Dassler started a business making shoes. They called it, imaginatively, the Dassler Brothers Shoe Factory, and according to one source had to set up a static bicycle so that they could generate electricity when there were regular power cuts. Now, they were an enterprising duo, and they came up with a track shoe, an athletics track shoe, that did away with the heavy metal spikes of yore and replaced them with canvas and rubber. They then, in a brilliant piece of early product placement, persuaded sprinter Jesse Owens to wear them at the 1936 Summer Games, the Olympic Summer Games, the 1936 ones, you know, the Nazi ones, yeah. Owens won 4 gold medals and Dassler found itself firmly on the map. There was then an interruption to proceedings from about 1939 to 1945, where the Dassler brothers made shoes for the Wehrmacht and then made anti-tank weapons. But let's just gloss over that for a second. After the war, by 1947, the brothers had grown a little bit sick of each other for reasons that I don't really know, and decided to split off and form 2 new separate companies. Rudolf went off to form a company called Ruder, as in Rudolf Dassler, so the first 2 bits of his name, which later became Puma because he realised that name was stupid. And Adolf, not that one, Addy, to his mates, went off to form Adidas, as in a.d.i.d.a.s. See what they did there? That's fun, isn't it? So what about the false acronym, all day I dream about sports or soccer or sex? It seems to have come about sometime around in the 1970s, but I can't find a reliable source to be able to tell me exactly when and how. It seems to be a sort of backronym. So what you do is you get a word and then you sort of make up what it might stand for, and then that's actually after the fact that the word was formed, so it becomes a backronym instead of an acronym. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Anyway, this made the rounds at schools and colleges, so say, and it just eventually became a urban legend. I mean, a lot of these things are formed like that. 2 notes on this. American metal band Korn do have a song called Adidas. It is dotted like an acronym, and the chorus is, of course, all day I dream about sex. I mean, there are worse things to dream about. The second note is a German artist called Barbara Geiss, and I'm pretty sure that I don't know how to say her name. I cannot find any evidence to suggest that there is any truth in the fact that she trademarked all day I dream about soccer at some point in the late 1980s, but there is an old Instagram account and a Twitter account which sort of allude to that fact. Also, it's mentioned in a couple of articles online. I don't know who she is, I don't know where it comes from. If anybody has any better idea, you know where to, not in the comments, please, thank you. Fun. I've covered this one before, but it is a fun one to think about. In the medieval period, if you were an adulterous type, you might find yourself in a set of stocks with a sign above you saying, "For unlawful carnal knowledge." Or how about the one where you needed permission from the king to have sex, to copulate with your partner, and then you could put a sign on the door that said, "Fornication under order of the king," "Fornication under consent of the king." Or how about the one where the F word came from the Battle of Agincourt, where the English bowmen, when they are about to unleash their fury upon the French, would say, "Pluck you, pluck you over there, or you over there, pluck you." Yeah, it's very effective. These are all utter trite balderdash bollocks. There are numerous cognates of the F word in other Germanic languages across Northern Europe, suggesting a common root. The main issue of tracing the roots of this common and flexible swear word were that it was basically censored from every dictionary from 1795 to 1965. It being a taboo or common word meant that it just wasn't favoured by the reading and writing elite. Remember, up until recently, reading and writing was something which wasn't common. You had to be rich or highly educated, and the highly educated and the rich people did not like swear words. They thought they were for common people. Influencers, eh? In 1971, 5 friends found themselves in possession of a map which they thought would probably take them to a marijuana field somewhere northwest of San Francisco. They called themselves the Waldos because they met at a wall after school. As school finished at 3 p.m. and a few of them would have after school classes or clubs that would last until 4 p.m, they decided to meet at 4:20 p.m. 4:20 then of course made its way into their everyday lexicon, and through a couple of connections it also was passed on to a local band called the Grateful Dead. The term spread amongst their fans and then weeded its way into, you see what I did there? Yeah, made its way to Rolling Stone magazine, and then by extension the popular weed smoking magazine High Times. And yes, as far as I can tell, that's all true. 420 isn't derived from police codes, although modern police codes have fallen into line with it retrospectively. It's not the amount of chemical compounds in marijuana, and no, it isn't the date of the untimely deaths of Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, or that other guy from The Doors. And no, it's not the best date to plant hemp, and no, the Grateful Dead did not stay in room 420 constantly. That's a false connection. Sorry. In this case, like a lot of things, it just started in amongst a small group of people who found it funny or amusing or witty, and then it just spread through their charisma and charm. Please remember to like, subscribe, and press that like button, the follow button, press the follow, the bell button. I'll see you next week for something books or words or bookshop related, and in the meantime, phones or have a conversation or go for a drink with someone that you love and try and make them laugh. Let's just bring some more laughter into the world, alright? Take care.